it does make a difference voting, because if you don't come out and vote for the political party of your choice, you end up living in a society that's less democratic than the one that you would like to maybe have, where people are appointed to rule and make legislation as opposed to being voted in by the people because that's their choice of political party that they wanted them to represent.
It's important to encourage our young voters to get engaged. I would be very keen to assist or speak to any young voters, even if they don't agree with my political persuasion, but see why I have got involved in politics, because I feel that if you aren't voting, you're missing out, because you're not having your views heard. That's the most important thing. It's about having your views heard and having that public representative there that you can contact and say, look, I'm not happy about this, or I'm not happy about that, and I want this sorted. That's why you vote the person in there, and that's why I was voted in, is because they says, well, I want you to do this job. And of course, if you do not do this job, then we will vote for somebody else at the next election.
Voting is a democratic right of every citizen, and every citizen has the right and an equal right to have a say in how they believe that things should be happening in their areas.
Well, the main differences here between the political parties in Northern Ireland here is that you have unionist parties and nationalist parties, and of course then there's the area in between who don't quite know what they stand for, but the unionist parties believe in the union, and they believe that we're best situated within the United Kingdom for economical reasons and of course other reasons. And then there's the nationalist parties who believe that you'd be best suited in a united Ireland, on an all-Ireland basis. So that would be the main differences here between the parties. But of course, while there are differences, at times there are a lot of similarities. At the end of the day, we all want the best for the people of Northern Ireland, and that's what makes our government work, is that we are fighting for the best for the people of Northern Ireland, regardless of whether what our views are. We still fight for the best.
The reality is the main issues in relation to politics with a small p are the same whether you're in North Belfast, West Belfast, here in Derry, or indeed in Strabane. So the political differences in relation to the bread and butter issues are minimal. There will be examples, obviously, where there will be differences within the parties, but on the main, most of the issues are the same, apart from the main ideological political differences.
Well, in my belief, the consequences of not voting and opting out are that you end up with a non-democratic style of government. So you end up potentially in a situation where self-appointed people come along and set themselves up into a dictatorship-like state, and you are then bound by the rules and regulations of others, and it's not democratic, and we don't see the systems working in the way that they should, and that money is spent in the right places for education, for health, for public housing, for infrastructure, and projects like those that we see rolling out at the minute.
You need a body or a group of people to take the issues forward on behalf of the people. But one of the worries is, by opting out as such or not engaging in politics, is that it becomes that the people that are there in public office that are supposedly representing you aren't representing your views, and that's the worry, because quite often at election time we hear those people they're not doing anything for us. But if you don't vote, or if you don't come out and vote, then you as such you don't really have a say as such, because you're not actually voting. So you're never going to have a say, because if you don't actually come out and vote and decide who you vote in or who gets into government, then you're going to be left with the same old, if you like, or people that you don't feel represent your views. So that's why it's important so politics is very relevant, because at the end of the day, all the decisions that are made affecting you, right from roads level right up to European level, it's important that you vote for the person that you feel is best. And if nobody represents your views, you can always stand yourself as a candidate.
Well, in my opinion, I think the importance of politics goes back to basics, and that is that every person, every citizen, every man and every woman has a right to have a say in how their lives are affected by decisions that are taken.
young people when they're 14, 15 can't be bothered going to school, they don't see the importance of it, but once they're a bit older they realise what they've missed out on. And after all, education on your CV is very easily carried, and it'll help you towards your future life. And voting as well too, they should exercise the right to vote as well as taking their education.